Hello Facebook, it's Rachael Hectus. It is 2:18 in the morning on July 23rd, and I cannot sleep. My son, Josh, turns 17 tomorrow. In my last video, I talked about shame and embarrassment and wanting to be separate from the world. One of the things that has cost me is a relationship with my son. Well, my ex had a lot to do with it too, but him and his wife really campaigned hard to erase me from Josh's life, and it was very traumatic. So what happened was, when I was married to Michael, that was my ex, I wasn't supposed to be able to get pregnant. And lo and behold, when I was 20, I found out for Christmas that I was pregnant. Merry Christmas. Things between Michael and I were, there's not really a word to describe the craziness that was me. And he had his own issues. And I bear a lot of responsibility for what happened. Anyway, my marriage was falling apart. He was having an affair with my little sister, who was a minor at the time. And because her and her daughter were living with us, she was 16, I think. And I tried to kill myself with a shotgun. I was pregnant, and it was a nasty fight, and that's when I felt my baby move for the first time, and things just changed for me. Sorry. It's very difficult for me to talk about that period of my life. When Josh was born, all throughout my pregnancy, I felt very close to my baby. And I talked to him, and I sang to him, and we had named him. We had named him by the 3rd month. We knew he was a boy. Michael picked the name Josh, and I picked the name Kai for his middle name. And when he was born, Michael was overseas. He was in the Marine Corps at that time. The only good thing I have ever done in my life is have that child. The only pure thing. I had him by myself for the first 11 months. Michael and I were fighting. I was afraid that Michael was going to take him away from me forever, and I'd never get to see him. Which is what happened. I fought hard for custody, and Luke Kirby, who is Polly's father, and my sister, and my brother, and their friends all got together with Michael and conspired to lie to the courts. So I lost custody, and it killed me. I don't know what Michael's motives were, but if he wanted to hurt me, he did. He just destroyed me. Josh was my first love, my first pure, unconditional love. I missed being pregnant. I never got to know Josh through my own troubles, through Michael and his wife's campaign. He's 17 tomorrow. I remember being 17. When I mentioned the shame and the guilt and the embarrassment, I was so ashamed of myself. I didn't feel worthy of Josh's love. I didn't feel I was good enough for him, because I've always been heavy since pregnancy. After I had Josh, I've always been heavy, and I was fat. I was ugly. I was an emotional mess, and my son deserved so much more than that. He's so beautiful. He's such a beautiful child. He's not a child anymore. He's almost a man. And it's been very hard these last few days. Since Jerry died, I've really had a hard time. Jerry's my brother who died in 2008. And then this shooting spree in Aurora. Life is so fragile, and I feel so guilty. I feel so ashamed of how out of control I let my life get, how out of control I let myself get. I always think of him. There's not a day that goes by that he's not in my thoughts. I always wonder if he thinks about me. Probably not. But I think about him. It's partly one of my motivators for having surgery. I know it sounds vain, but I want to be able to have Josh look at me and not see this fat, disgusting blob. And I want him to want to know me. I don't know if that... Oh. I'm sorry. This is why I can't sleep. My therapist is off this week on vacation, so that's gonna suck. Big time. It's really gonna suck. Because she's like my lifeline a lot of times. And I don't like to talk to my husband too much about my emotions, because I think it makes him uncomfortable sometimes because of the sheer intensity. I used to fantasize about getting my son back and all the things I'd say to him, and when my health got really bad, I wrote a goodbye letter to him in case I died, because I got really sick, and we didn't think, well, it got pretty bad. It just, tonight, it's just hitting me. And I know I shouldn't be so hard on myself. I know I'm not. Sorry, I have really bad cotton mouth from being tired. I used to be so vain. And I let that and shame and guilt paralyze me. I still do. Another thing that I'm ashamed of, and if we're going to be real here, I have dentures. The whole top row of my mouth is dentures. Right here. Sorry, this is probably really disgusting to you, but it makes me ashamed. Oh, it's from drugs. Don't do drugs. They rot your teeth. I used to shoot up with the needle. I used to shoot meth, crystal meth. Yeah, crystal meth. Thanks, Juanita. She got me started on crystal meth when I was 13, I think. Not shooting, snorting, but I smoked it, I just shot it up, and that's a whole nother story. Let me tell you. I used to not let people in. This is a big step for me, because I've decided not to control the comments. I just let them come. And it's really scary for me to give up that kind of control, because I'm a control freak. I know that about myself. I really work hard not to be. But I'm kind of a bitch. I'm really hard to live with. And it was another thing that embarrassed me, that I didn't want Josh to know. I was afraid of his rejection. Because he's the only thing that really mattered for a really long time. And, stupid tears. So here I am, Sunday night, 2:30 in the morning. I've got crap to do in the morning, and I can't sleep. I used to get really bad insomnia, but not so much anymore. I just stay up till like 1 or 2, and then I go to bed. I want to wish him a happy birthday. And if I could say anything to him, repeat that I love you and wish the very, very best for you. I hope you get everything that you need and that you want. Happy birthday. I think I've said I love you, but I'll say it again. I love you. So, yeah, it brings up all kinds of crap for me. And there's the whole thing with my ex. I still have unresolved issues and emotions there. And it's a huge source of trauma for me. Oh. So, anywho, I've discovered some really awesome people in the weight loss community whose blogs I'm following very closely, who've just had surgery, and I want to congratulate them on their surgery. I have an appointment with my PCP, my primary care physician, Thursday, and we're going to have him order all the pre-op tests with the cardiac doctor, the cardiologist, with the blood work that needs to be done. I think I have to get a sleep study too, even though I just had one recently. But I'll get another one again, because now I'm on oxygen at night, and I'm starting my journey towards surgery, and hopefully September or October that's going to happen. It'll happen this year, by God. It will happen. I just don't know exactly when, because I got to do all the pre-op stuff, and I got to finish my nutrition classes. I think I'm on the fourth month. Next month, August, is the 5th month. So there's that. It's a 6-month course that I have to finish before, and then I have to pay them. Like $400. Wow, $400. That's a lot of money. So I've talked your ear off, and this is probably way too long. Thank you so much. It felt good to talk about it, and it felt good to cry. I hate crying, but sometimes you need that cathartic moment. You guys are awesome, and I appreciate all the support. I've gotten so much support, especially from Mythica, which I'll have to explain that whole thing too. She's awesome. Mythica Von Griffin is like the most amazing woman I've ever known, and she does so much, and I just marvel at all that she accomplishes, and still manages to stay sane, loving, and open to the universe and people. Yeah. So thank you, and have a really great night. Hopefully you're sleeping. I'm not sleeping, but hopefully you're sleeping. So, good night, kids.